The previous episode was a bit weird. I revealed my true identity as being Tatman. I made a rather ridiculous montage with my horse. And I would say this is the weirdest part, I actually lit up one of my builds. As I say, the previous Hermitcraft episode was very, very strange indeed. However, there is one thing that I worked on that wasn't particularly strange, and that is this redstone system right here. I mean, how cool is that? Seriously, how cool is that? Is that not the coolest thing ever? I believe that could well be the coolest thing ever. Now, one thing that a few people did mention is that the waterfall splitter is not in the center of the waterfall, and you would be correct. It's in the center of this area, but it's not in the center of the waterfall, and that is due to the fact that I actually changed the flow of it accidentally earlier on in the episode. So I think I could still probably push it out so it's further along here. What the? How did he get there? He really snuck up on me. Now, because he's in the water, I don't actually have any way to kill him, but I do have a bit of an idea. Come on, buddy, let's get you sorted, and there we go. This is Alfred. What is Batman without an Alfred? Or should I say Tatman? Which actually, that makes me think, maybe, are there any potato-related things I can do for Alfred? Al-fried potatoes? That's awful. That's a terrible joke. Alfredo potatoes? Also awful. I have just come up with something, but it's very obscure. This is a very obscure and specific potato reference. Only true spud connoisseurs will understand this one. If you are deep into your potatoes, then you will know what I'm talking about. Which essentially means 3 people are laughing right now, the rest of you are incredibly bored. So let's crack on with some building. Today's Hermitcraft episode is all about building up a rather large storage system, and this project starts off like almost all my projects do, which is by stealing Grian's beacon and using that to dig a rather big hole. Now, it seems really paradoxical to do this because, of course, we have so much space to play with here. Like, loads of space. Technically, as the back isn't currently on my build, we have infinite space. But even with the back on it, it's a ton of space. So why am I having to dig this hole to create even more space? Is because in the episode before the previous episode, I decided to dig a hole out the front, not thinking about the fact that would mean I'd also have to build an equally big, if not bigger, hole out the back. And this is why people who plan succeed. But planning is nowhere near as exciting as winging it, and winging it is what I'm going to continue to do. So I've kind of mapped out how big I want this hole to be, and it is quite big. It goes from there to there, and it goes all the way across to there. And it's going to be this deep. That is quite big. Now that it's all been digged out, it really is quite big. It's also very square, like it's almost perfectly a square. So my storage system is going to run across like this. It might go across the back wall depending on size, and then across like this as well. And it's going to be a double height storage system, so that should be more than enough chests for all the different items that I'm going to be storing. Is there anything else that I can talk about to put off digging this a little while longer? You know, the more I talk, the more I don't have to dig for the time being. Nice weather, isn't it? It's nice weather. Should we do some cloud watching? That one looks like a face with its tongue sticking out. That one looks like wide pie. And this one kind of looks like a seahorse. Okay, I think that's enough procrastinating. How about we get to work on actually digging this thing? Time to ramp up the super speed. Now, mining out this rather large area of stone took quite a long time. And that gave me a lot of opportunities to think about a whole bunch of pointless stuff. And one of the pointless things that I got really focused into and was spending a lot of time on was when the best time to transition mining techniques is. Because, you know, we've all had the situation, you've got your efficiency 5 pickaxe, and you need to mine out an area that's decently big. It's not massive, but it's big enough that you at least think, maybe I should get my beacon. And I really want to know where the size is that it becomes more efficient to go and get your beacon, construct it, and then make use of haste 2, compared to not doing that. You've saved the time by not having to set up, but then you have to deal with slower mining. Like, when is that size? Where does that scale happen? And then on the larger end, I started thinking about world eaters. You know, when does it become more efficient to transition from mining with a pickaxe and haste 2 and efficiency 5 to mining with a gigantic flying machine that is dropping TNT? When does the setup time offset with the mining time? There's got to be a way to work it out, but I can't think of it. I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight. I'm going to be thinking about that all night. Anyway, I think we can all agree that this is a pretty gigantic hole. I mean, this is an enormous amount of space to play with. The issue with building mega things, like my mega base, is that it actually makes rather large things look small. Like the fact that this door here, this door is absolutely massive, and this hole almost falls into that. I mean, this is like a 30 blocks across, 40 blocks this way, and what? around about 25, 30 blocks deep. My scales are probably all very off there. And look at it. It looks like a postage stamp in the footprint of my base. I mean, it's a big hole, alright? It is a big hole. But just stuff around it's bigger. Still, big or small, I'm happy with it, okay? Even if it isn't a gigantic hole, it's my hole and I'm happy with it. So let's move on from this thing and start to work on actually constructing the storage system, which I imagine is going to look tiny as well. However, I have just thought, the storage system requires loads of hoppers. Hoppers are not something that I thought of. I'm so used to having infinite iron, I don't have any. I've barely got any. Like, genuinely, I think this is the extent of my iron. I have that, but still that's not going to get me anywhere. That gets me like a stack of hoppers. I'm so used to having an iron farm, and I don't have an iron farm, and honestly, I don't know what to do. Do I mine for it? No, surely I can't mine for it. And that's when I hatched a bit of a plan. What is the most corporate colour of block? I mean, that's not far off, but I think we can go more corporate. Yes, I would say this is suitably soulless. This is definitely a little bit precarious. And this is definitely reminding me of the carpets that we had at school. And all of these factors have come together to create what I believe to be a very, very good office. Now, why do I need an office? Well, it's because I want to conduct some very, very official business. See, as you may know, I'm a man of influence, and that means that I can do some influential things, like get sponsorship deals and stuff. And hopefully somebody can give me a bunch of iron that I don't have to pay for in return for promotion. I made a whiteboard and everything. Everyone knows the most important thing about landing a big deal is having a good, really just great whiteboard. That's all they care about. Time to find someone with a bunch of iron that I can pitch to. This suit is way less comfortable than my bat suit. Anyway, Tango has just logged in, so I guess we should send him a message. Tango, may I invite you to my corner office? I mean, it is technically a corner office. It's a corner for some official business. All right, that's probably really got him interested. Now, the thing that I'm most curious about here is if he attempts to use the door. Oh my goodness, he's decided to come through this door. But he didn't. You know, being late sets a really terrible first impression.
Hello?
Oh, hello. You alright?
Oh, hi there. Hi there.
What do you think?
I had no idea where to find you.
Well, I mean, what do you think to my corner office? It's pretty fancy, isn't it?
I mean, this is great as long as I don't turn the camera. Right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. This is a Hollywood office, all right?
Of course. Yeah.
We only look in one direction.
Well, bare minimum, yeah. Well,
yeah.
Okay. I don't even want to know what's going on over there. Hi.
How's it going?
Official businessman, no lie.
Yep. That's
always
me.
Trust the potato carrot man.
Okay, so this, as you can clearly see from the motivational messages on the wall and things, this is an official.
It's too long.
This is an official business setting, right? This is like a real office.
Right. Of course. All right.
It does look a little bit like a school, but that's because I've never had a real job.
That's okay.
So this is what I imagine an office looks like, to be honest with you.
Right.
And well, I want to do some business with you. Here is the business plan. All right. You have a bunch of iron, don't you? Do you? I hope. You do?
Oh, yes, I do. Yes, okay. I mean, you know me, of course.
Okay,
yes.
of course. Yeah, you're like the Iron Man, you know? So you have a bunch of iron. I have no iron. Okay. I also...
That poses a problem, all right?
I need a bunch of iron, but not willing to pay for it. And that's...
You gonna pay in potatoes, or how's that gonna work out?
My plan is, if all goes smoothly here, I'm not gonna pay at all. That's the plan, right?
All right. Well then, okay. Where's the door?
I've got a whiteboard. I have a whiteboard. Okay.
Oh, the deal isn't over. Okay.
No. I mean,
this has got to be good.
This is official business. I'm the owner of a whiteboard. This is an official. You think you think I don't mean business here? All right.
Well, I mean, it does say official business, so I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
So,
no lie.
All right.
No lie.
How do you intend to acquire said iron?
Well,
without payment.
I'm a man of influence, okay? And what do people with influence do? They influence. They influence. With brand deals and sponsorships and everything like that, you know? The whole lot. And, I mean...
you put thought into this, my friend, haven't
I have
you?
I have a bit of a deal. It's been pre-signed by me, okay?
Oh, no. Official sponsorship contract. The talent. Oh, I like how you use the word talent there. The you've done this before, I can see. The talent, Mumbo K Jumbo, will display 16 signs with a promotional message written by the client. Tango, I hope, please.
Yep.
These will be displayed indefinitely. Yep. Signed, Mumbo K Jumbo.
Yep.
Oh.
And there is a spot for you.
You want a sponsorship deal. All right.
Yeah, you can sponsor my storage system.
I like it. Well, here's the thing, because you hit me at a good time, because I've actually been planning to make an iron shop. So,
okay. So this is like a promotional deal.
Yeah. We're both getting off the ground here. So you've got some prominent real estate here. So it's gonna be like inside your storage room.
Yeah. 16 signs.
Okay.
You know, with an approved message, and I'll place them in places that you will see, and everyone else will see.
I like it.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay, and indefinitely, no fine print, no nothing.
Nope.
How much iron are we talking here? Just because I know you and your storage rooms.
Well, I mean, honestly, I don't know at this point in time. It is going to be quite a substantial quantity, but it's not going to be insane, but it is going to be a decent amount. But
many stacks of iron blocks is what we're talking, right?
But probably, yeah. I mean, look at this hole.
Okay.
This is where it's going to be going. So yeah, you can. Yeah.
Oh, this is all storage room.
Well, I mean, only the bottom section. Don't worry, I'm not doing like layers of it. But still, you see, it's big. Okay. Have you signed it?
Okay.
Did you sign it before asking this question?
Okay. Sure. I'm gonna regret this. Signed. There we go.
Woo.
All right. Done
Let's
deal.
see. Do you have a fancy signature like mine?
Of course I do.
Yours is. That's pretty fancy. That is pretty fancy.
You think I'm new here? Come on.
Official business success. This has gone incredibly well. I think I might keep this office for the time being, just in case I need to do any more official business in the future. Because let's be real, I think the whiteboard got him. I think the fact that I was stood there with a whiteboard and my motivational messages on the walls, all these factors, I think they all played in to the fact that I have managed to land the biggest business deal of Hermitcraft Season 8 so far. It is humongous. I mean, some signs for some iron. How have I managed to pull that off? It's almost as good as 12 bamboo. Wood has been gathered, and that fills me with a lot of happiness. I don't know why. I don't fully understand why, but seeing lots of wood inside of a double chest, it just gets me. I'm weird. I'm also Tatman, and I also really need to work on my husky voice, because it doesn't have quite the same effect when it comes out of me.
I'm Tatman.
That was arguably weirder. I'm starting to realise that this hole is in fact very large. I mean... Look how much space is going to be between each side of my storage system. The other set of chests is going to be like over here. That is huge. Remember earlier in the episode when I said planning is no fun and you should just wing it? Well, this is what happens when you do that. Silly things like this happen. But I have come up with an idea that I actually think is way better. I think this is better than the idea that I had originally, and I think this is going to make this storage system the best storage system I've ever created. You see, the thing is with storage systems is that if you have another set of chests over here, and I realise I need to get an item from those chests, then this is wasted time, because then I grab the item and then inevitably I need something from this side, and you end up going back and forth a ton, wasting a bunch of valuable minutes. But thankfully this room is big enough that I can actually have my entire storage system on this side for these sorts of items. The sorts of items that will be going into just 2 double chests. I'm not going to have more items than that. For items where I'm going to have far more than that, such as cobblestone, sand, dirt, granite, diorite, all those sorts of things, then I'll have all of those chests on this side in large storage silos. So this will be like bulk storage, and this will be all the other items. And that means that I'll know exactly where those are going to be. So I can get all of the bulk items on one side, and I can do that in one swoop without having to go back and forth. And then I can get all of the smaller quantity items on this side. And with my current setup, this hole is actually 50 blocks across. I can get myself 150 different types of items, unique items, inside the storage system when I bump this up to 3 tiers. You know what? I was right. No planning is better. So stage 1 of this building process is to get all of the chests in place, and this is absolutely eating through my wood storage. I think this is 3 stacks of chests already, so that's 6 stacks of wood gone. And remember, there's 3 tiers to this thing, and also each one of these hoppers requires a chest as well. I might genuinely need more wood. Like, seriously, I might need more wood. I don't think I'm going to need more wood. I actually have loads of wood. I think we might have wood left over. Now let's have a look at this thing. I am curious to see what this looks like. It looks wild. That looks wild. This whole area looks pretty wild, to be fair. I mean, we're inside of like a tranquil mountain, and yet we have some of the most industrial looking builds I think I've constructed. And actually, now that I'm looking at this, I definitely feel like this redstone needs to be on display. It's just really pretty. I think maybe we should encase this thing in something like tinted glass. That would look amazing. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. Now it's time to work on the redstone for this one, and I'm going to do it in a slightly unusual fashion, in that I'm going to do it in strips. It's almost like I'm 3D printing a redstone contraption. It feels a little bit strange even for me. So I'll place in all of these blocks first, then I'll do all of the repeaters, then I'll do all the redstone torches, then I'll move on to the next layer. And in case you're wondering, no, I'm not going to remove this cobblestone one. I'm going to leave this one as cobblestone, not because I'm too lazy to remove the cobblestone and rebuild it in stone bricks, but I want to commemorate the fact that this was the first module that I constructed. And it is totally not to do with the fact that I don't want to remove the cobblestone and rebuild it in stone bricks and I'm being lazy. It's not that. I can't believe you'd even think that. Comparators are really expensive, aren't they? I'm back to thinking that we might actually run out of wood, but from the sticks, from comparators and repeaters, that stuff's adding up. Our first layer of modules are all in place. All of these chests down at the bottom here now have automatic sorters attached to them. And as always, this view is ridiculously cool. So now we start work on the second layer, and this one requires 1 more hopper per line of chests than the one beneath, so it's getting gradually more expensive as we go. But thankfully my wood supplies are still going strong. 2 layers are now all in place and fully connected and hooked up, and it is looking very, very fancy indeed. Big storage systems fill me with a lot of joy. The only issue that I'm running into is these little guys. You see, the big ones, they're fine, you know, because they will attack me. It's no big deal. These little guys though, they can't attack me, but they will stand really closely, and if I misclick, I will kill it in 1 hit. Now, you have no idea how nervous that makes me working on these builds and things, because I'm all about the peace, love, and plants. I still haven't killed anything yet in this season. If I accidentally cause a death, I will be so upset. If I make the decision to kill something, I want to make the decision to kill something, and I'm going to enjoy it. It'll be like a cheat day. But instead of eating, I'm killing. We're on the home straight now. I can feel the end in sight. See the end in sight? What's the saying? I can taste the end in sight. I can smell the end in sight. I can emotionally relate to the end that is in my vision. Yeah, I think I nailed that. Oh my gosh, this is a beautiful moment. Not only did I have enough wood, but I also just crafted the perfect number of hoppers to get this build finished. There is just one tiny detail that I need to do now, which is to get the water areas added in. Now, I'm not actually going to add in the water just yet, because that requires some planning as to how I'm going to feed these items in. I don't want to do anything that I'm then committed to that I then need to change later down the line if I come up with a new idea. But I need to create the little water canals. So the items will go across the edge here, basically in this spot between the blocks and the hoppers, and that allows them to travel in the water whilst also being able to drop into the hoppers. It's very, very useful indeed. So that is the top level canal water stream thing. This is the middle level one, and then down there is the bottom one. This storage system is very compact. I mean, it's very compact, but also enormous. Like, it's enormously compact, but it's finished. And I have to say, I'm absolutely chuffed to bits. I'm so pleased that we managed to get this hole dug and also this gigantic storage system built in today's Hermitcraft episode. But we aren't quite done just yet. Tango never actually gave me what he wanted me to say on the signs. So I'm going to place down this sign here, insert. I'm going to place down this sign here, and I'm going to get Tango to change it, and then from there, I will place down my 16 signs around this area here. So they'll be clearly on display, and my end of the sponsorship deal will be held up. Although I really do wish I had taken more iron, because this iron is not going to last me for the rest of the season. Oh, does that mean we're going to have to do some renegotiations? We might have to do some renegotiations. I guess we'll cross that bridge when it comes to it. I really do hope that you've enjoyed this episode on the Hermitcraft server. It's been a ton of fun to create, and I will catch you in the next one. See ya! Now, to round things off today, I just want to mention something that I mentioned in the previous Hermitcraft episode about the whole planetarium concept. I've actually done some messing around with it in creative mode worlds, and I have got something worked out that I think is going to be absolutely perfect. It's going to work absolutely perfectly, and I'm excited for it. So we are going to be rolling with that plan, I think, potentially, maybe.